welcome to Vlogmas day 12. I thought it might be fun to do a reading journal flip through. I love watching these, and as you can see I have a very full reading journal. I do have some pages left at the back, but it doesn't close anymore, so I'm just gonna end this and start a new one in 2026. And yeah, like I said, I really enjoy watching these videos, so I thought I would do a flip through of my own. I'm really proud of how it started. The pages towards the ends I don't really love, so I do have some things I want to carry over into the next one, but I am glad that I kind of almost finished a journal for the first time in my life. And I'm sorry if the tripod here kind of jiggles a bit, but it's on a spring, so I'm trying my best. And again, I apologize for the shadows, but I have rubbish natural light. Even though it's the afternoon, it's dreary here in the UK, so this is the best I can do. So here we have the front. I just have a couple of stickers on there. This is just a regular bullet journal. I think I've got it in somewhere like Flying Tiger or The Range. But yeah, I've just got a couple of stickers on the front. There's nothing on the inside. But I started off kind of making these collages of some of my favourite series, not really doing any reviews, but just looking up Pinterest pictures and making pages of my favourites. So I have a general Zodiac Academy and then the fine print by Lauren Asher, and this is the kind of design that I want to go forward with into my next reading journal. Then I have The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy and The Wrong Heart by Jennifer Hartman. Then I have A Twisted Love by Anna Huang. So I started to kind of change things up a bit at this point. So I have some quotes that I loved from the book and a small review. Then we have The Simple World by K.A. Tucker. So I have the collage on one side and then a review and a quote on this side. And again, I do kind of want to keep the collagey idea, but mix it in with a small review of kind of just the favourite books that I read, not necessarily every book I read. Then we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This was just a more general review and quotes. So then we have a reading wrap up. So I believe this was September 2023 when I started this. This journal has been going on, and I really did try my best to do a reading wrap up each month, but as you will see, how I did that has changed. So for this month there was the book covers and a small review and rating. And then in October I just did the stars ratings with the book covers, and I wrote the stats that I got from Storygraph. And I really like how I did different things each month, because it's really kind of made me find what I enjoy and what I like in a journal. Like I said, I can take that forward with the next one. Then we have my November wrap up. So this time I just had the book covers, and then I did a key to indicate how I read it, whether it was physical, ebook, audio, ARC or KU, and the rating, and then some more stats down the bottom there. Then my friend and I started a book club in 2023, or maybe it was 2022. I'm pretty sure I started this journal in 23, maybe it was 22. But this was just a little page on some of the books we had read so far, and I was going to make a list of all of the potential picks. We have actually since read Twin Crowns and Empire of the Vampire. We read Dark Fae separately, and we haven't yet read Dracula, so that is still on our TBR list. Okay, so I must have started this in 2022, but I have my top 10 books of 2022. As you can see, I didn't really do anything here, so I think I must have just wanted to journal but wasn't very inspired on the day. So yeah, there's not a favourite page. Then we go into 2023, so I had a goal of reading 100 books, and as you can see, I was supposed to write my stats for the whole year, and I didn't do it. I'm not the best at remembering to go through. I did an A to Z reading challenge, and I wanted to, you know, document that with the dates and the ratings of the books, and it looks like I did manage to do it. I haven't completely filled out the ratings and the dates, but it looks like I did finish that challenge. Then I was doing a page of new to me authors for 2023. Whether that was all of the new to me authors, I'm not sure. Then we have the first reading wrap up of 2023, and in this case it's very plain and boring. It is literally just the book covers. That was a good reading month though. I don't know when the last time I actually managed to read that many books in one month. I'm kind of impressed with myself. And the same with February. I must have been very uninspired this month, but it's still fun to look back at what I had actually read over the months. Then we have some more reviews. We have The Final Offer by Lauren Asher and Dark Fae by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. Then Twin Crowns and Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. And we have Latte Darling by S.J. Tilley and Tempt Me by K.A. Tucker. So this is the kind of thing I'm hoping to bring forward into my next reading journal. It's just, like I said, document all of my favourite books of the year with some reviews. And then Poison Roses by Jamin Eve and Tate James. Then I set myself a reading challenge, but it looks like I completely forgot that that was in here because there is nothing ticked off. Then we have my March reading wrap up. Again, there's just a few little notes about whether it was ARCs, whether a book was recommended to me. But yeah, there's not too much detail in here. But this was the first time I'd really tried a full reading journal, so I wasn't too mad on myself. Then I took part in Camp NaNoWriMo, so I was going to document the whole thing here, which again, as you can see, just another half-finished page. So this is your sign that if you have half-finished pages in your journal, it's fine. We have another reading wrap-up. We have April 2023. And again, just some basic notes about tropes, whether they were rereads and things like that. Some more reviews. We have Gothicana by Runix and King by S.J. Tilley. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score and Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. So I was kind of fed up of just having the dotted pages, so I was trying to stick down some colourful paper just to give it a bit of a better background. So I think for my next journal, I might not go the bullet journal route. I'm looking for one that just has plain pages, because I don't love how the dots look when there's nothing kind of there, like on this page. We have the June reading wrap-up and a mid-year reading check-in and my favourite books that I had read by that point in 2023. Again, there's not really much to these pages, but it's still just getting the information down and it's fun to look back on. We have my July 2023 reading wrap-up and some stats as well. Then back to some more reviews. We have Kingdom of the Wicked and Twisted Lies. And I think at this point I was just kind of in the mood to journal, but wasn't really inspired. So that's why there's only a couple of pictures printed out. We have A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn and Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. And this is actually a postcard that does come out, but it's kind of like, I made like a little flap so that I could keep this because I kind of wanted to put it up on the wall and I thought one day I might want it. So it's just kind of folded in there, but I think that's quite a cool thing you can do. Maybe like keep some bookmarks and things in that match the books that you're journaling about. Then we have Glint, Guild, Gleam, Glow and Gold by Raven Kennedy. I had started that series but I still haven't finished it, but I just put some quotes there. And The Inheritance Games. I've only read the first book in that series, so I really do need to get to that. Then we have the September reading wrap up. Again, I just really want to get really more creative with my next journal. We have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and Divine Rivals. Flawless and Heartless by Elsie Silver. We're just back to some collages again. Then we have my October reading wrap up and my November reading wrap ups. Obviously for the October I must not have printed anything out, so we just have the books written there, but it's fine. And again, back then I was reading so many books in a month, it's actually kind of crazy to look back on. We have my December reading wrap up. Again, not very creative. I really need to get back into being creative with my journals. And then I started reading manga for the first time. So I have my first manga wrap up, which is exciting. And then my favourite book of the month, how many books I read, audio, physical and ebooks. And then we have Mile High by Liz Tom Ford and the stats for 2023. The fact I read 232 books is actually insane. I've read probably half of that this year. Like, I can't believe I ever managed to read that in a year, and I think I messed up, so I stuck those pages together. We have 2024, so I started a manga tracker, and I don't know if I actually read any more than that. I think that might have actually been the amount of manga that I did read in 2024, which is kind of sad. And then moving on, this was the kind of way I was getting around journaling without having a printer. So I obviously had a printer before, and I don't have one anymore, and I was going to the library and paying there to get pictures printed out, but it was getting expensive. So I decided to go onto free prints, and I would go onto Pinterest and make these little collages, save the pictures, make these collages on Canva, and then I printed them through free prints. So the rest of this journal, as you're going to see, is mostly these little, collages that I had made on Canva. And that was my way of still journaling without having a printer. So there's a tip if you want to get into it. Just get some Pinterest pictures, make it on Canva, print it out through free prints, and it's a very cheap way to journal without a printer. So as you can see here, I have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, and I just wrote some quotes around the side. And then Thieves Gambit by Kavion Lewis. Then Consider Me by Becca Max. So again, just another one of the collages I made with a quote. And this is kind of hard to read, but this is my arc tracker. The pen have bled through the page there, but yes, that was my arc tracker for 2023. I read quite a few. And oh, there's another page, just some more arc tracker, and I know that is the one I ended on in 2024, so I did complete that for the year. Then we have the Summer Series by Elizabeth O'Rourke. That was just kind of like a general collage for the series. The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, and Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. So again, I was just using craft paper and some stickers to put around the collages I had made, and this is where my journal got too big to shut because the pages became really thick when they were double-sided with this card. So I'm definitely going to go for a blank journal next time so that I don't have to put all this colour down. But I think they look cool. So then we have Collide by Bal Cabra and Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. Obviously there's no reviews with these, so I'm thinking maybe next time I might continue with these kinds of collages on one page and then write a full review on the next one, but we will see. Then we have Assistance to the Villain and From Lukov with Love. A lot of my washi tapes have all come from TK Maxx, and the stickers, I think they are all from TK Maxx, and I've got some off Etsy as well. Then we go into 2025, so our current year. My reading goal is set at 150. I think I'm about 110 books in at the minute, so don't think I'm going to hit it, but that's okay. Then we have Not in My Book by Katie Holt. This was my first arc of the year that I was sent, which was really exciting. I have Quicksilver by Callie Hutt and The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. And this is basically just all of my favourite books that I have read in 2025. We have The Goal by Elle Kennedy and Hexed by Emily McIntyre. And the pages are all kind of starting to stick together here. Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon and First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. The Coven by Harper L. Woods and Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. And as you can see, it was getting quite hard the thicker the journal was getting to be able to put the paper in properly. So yeah, I really need a blank one because it's all kind of ruined itself at this point, but I'm still kind of proud of how it turned out. And we have Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver and The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Clune. Then my best friend and I went to an Onyx Storm launch party, so there's just some photos that I took for that. And then we also went to an ACOTAR party, so again, just another little collage from there. But I would really like to, next time when we go to bookish events, you know, do a full journal entry about the events, not just something like this, but I wanted to document it. Then we have some author events from 2025. So it's always me and my best friend, but we went to Catherine Webber launch for Captain of Fates, and we went to an Emma Lucy evening talking about cowboy romance. And that is the end of the journal. Now, this event, obviously the last thing that's in here was back in July, I believe. So this hasn't been updated for a while, but I'm just going to call it quits with this being the end, and I'm going to start it again in 2026 with a new journal. It is kind of making me sad that I haven't finished out 2025, but you know, as you can see, there's not really much more I can do in here. The pages are not sticking down, and yeah, so I'm just going to start fresh for 2026. But if you have a reading journal, then I would love to know what you do with it. Do you write reviews of every single book that you read? Do you just put in reviews for your favourite books? Do you have trackers? I would just really love to get into journaling properly. It seems like a really fun hobby, and I do really enjoy doing it. And this journal was just kind of a bit of trial and error of finding what I like and what's the best way for me to personally log everything. So I think I do know what I want to do going forwards, but yeah, I really love watching these videos and being nosy at what everyone else does. So if you have a video like this, then please let me know in the comments below so I can get some inspiration. And I do also want to apologise if throughout this you have heard a clicking. I'm filming this at my kitchen table, and we have a vent in the kitchen that cannot be closed, and when it's windy you get this clicking noise throughout the entire day, and I can't do anything about it. So I'm very sorry if that has been annoying. But there we have my reading journal flip through over the last 3 years, which is kind of crazy, but I'm definitely going to start again for 2026 in a new one, and hopefully at the end of next year I'll be showing you what I have accomplished in that one. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for day 13 of Vlogmas. I think it should be, if I've got the dates right.